What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Late Game, episode 173. This is the average man's perspective on football. I am your co-host Marcus.
It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. Your boy is so extra, Herman. He's so extra.
And look, you probably violating copyrights.
We'll be all right.
Herman, did we do all this last year?
No.
Think we did.
Just one game away. Just one game away. Next up, we got Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey. Welcome to the Late Game, baby.
Since we supposed to do the show on Wednesday, we got a different intro for Herman today. Happy birthday, Herman.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I got an early birthday present, y'all.
Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You.
And last but never least, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
What's happening? It's Friday night.
I'm 56 years old.
Y'all looking too happy.
I'm sorry.
And we got a returning guest for the first time in a couple years. LJ. Say what up, LJ.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Welcome to the show, LJ.
Appreciate you brothers having me again.
So we just finished conference championship weekend, getting ready for the Super Bowl. Who's hosting tonight? Nobody told me. Nobody informed me of that.
I'm hosting.
Herman is hosting. So go ahead and start us off, Herman.
All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Appreciate y'all joining in on this Friday. You know, we're a couple nights late, but hey, better late than never, right? We're gonna get into some NFL news stories. We're gonna discuss some hot topics. We're definitely gonna review the games, the conference championship games. Definitely will be reviewing those. And then we will give our final thoughts, and then we'll get out of here. So with that being said, I'll throw back to Marcus for the first news story of the week.
Bills fans showed love to Mark Andrews last week, and now Ravens supporters are returning the favor. After Andrews' fourth quarter fumble and dropped two-point conversion attempt helped the Bills defeat the Ravens 27-25 in the divisional round, Bill fans helped donate over $140,000 to Baltimore to Breakthrough TD1, a diabetes research and advocacy organization. Andrews, who is public about dealing with type 1 diabetes, has long been a supporter of. The Buffalo season came to a gutting end over the weekend in a loss to the Chiefs, and Bills tight end Dalton Kincaid had a tough drop on fourth down late in the game. The Ravens flock decided to show its love to Kincaid by starting a GoFundMe for Summit Educational Resources, an organization backed by Kincaid that supports children and adults with with social and behavioral changes. As of Tuesday morning, there's more than 9,000 in donations. So good for the Buffalo and Raven fans, and Eagles fans can learn something from that.
It's a shame though that the Buffalo fans or that the Baltimore fans attacked.
What commander? I mean, which commander are you donating to? I mean,
no, I'm talking about. I'm talking about how they. You would never hear the story about Eagles. I'm saying all the stuff I've seen Eagles fans doing. The other opposing teams fans.
If the game was close and a Commander fan dropped a ball for the win, then
you're missing my point, Brian. You're missing my point. There's been mad stories about how bad Eagles fans are on social media. Oh, okay. And they will probably never do this. They probably would never do this for the opposing team's player.
All right. I mean, we'll never know with the way
some pettiness involved.
You're right. Unless it was something petty. Yeah. They would definitely do something then. All right. I'm going to take the next news story. At least 10 commercials to air during Super Bowl 59 on Fox have sold for $8 million, according to multiple reports on Wednesday. Fox reported in November that it has sold out of ad spots at what is said to believe to be record pricing. Fox CEO Murdoch said at the time, I skipped his first name, Lachlan. As spots were dwindling, the price increased, according to reports. Super Bowl ads normally increase by about 100,000 each year, but this year the increase was reportedly closer to 500,000. What was unique this Super Bowl or this marketplace was we had a lot more people that weren't in the game at all of a sudden be like, no, I have to get in the game. Fox Sports EVP/ad sales Mark Evans said around 123.7 million people watched the Super Bowl last year, according to Nielsen ratings, and more than 115 million viewers watched in 2023, the last time the Super Bowl was aired on Fox. Anheuser-Busch, Meta, Pepsi Company, Frito-Lay's, Taco Bell, Uber Eats, and others will vie to win over the more than 120 million viewers expected to tune in for the broadcast on Fox and via the free live stream on Tubi. Interesting. I didn't even know that they were free live streaming Super Bowl on Tubi.
They keep saying free live stream. The Super Bowl is always free every year anyway. What do they?
Tubi is free too.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think Tubi gonna be able to handle that if a bunch of people go to Tubi.
I guess why would you go to Tubi though?
Because you're not paying for any other services.
Yeah, none of the cable services.
Most people who don't have
cable, Tubi is free.
Yeah, but I mean, it's on Fox. Fox, you can get that with not Rapid Ears, but you can get with a digital.
Yeah, but what do they mean? I have that bad area. It could be anything.
I mean, how are you watching Tubi without internet?
They're gonna have internet.
You can, but you don't have to have cable to have.
I think they have some type of service if you have internet.
But I have internet and I don't pay. Well, I pay for YouTube TV, but if I didn't pay for YouTube TV, who would I use? I would go to Tubi.
But why would you have? Why do you have internet so that you can watch YouTube TV?
Well,
Brian, Tubi does have local network tuning on there too. They do have local.
I got that, but why couldn't you just tune to your local network?
Some people have internet and they only stream like Paramount, Hulu, Netflix, stuff like that. Some people don't stream.
Some people don't have live TV.
You could download the Fox app and watch Fox TV.
You could.
Mm-hmm.
You just argumentative today, Brian.
I don't know what. I'm just trying to figure out what the benefit of going to Tubi was. That's all.
I don't get it either.
It's having it accessible for everybody. That's what it is.
Yeah, Tubi is very popular. Tubi is very popular with certain people.
Okay.
Go ahead, Brian. Take the next news story.
Ahead of Sunday's NFC Championship showdown in Philadelphia, a rare moment of unity emerged between the two fiercely competitive fan bases. As Commanders and Eagles fans gathered outside Lincoln Financial Field, they set aside their differences to chant a familiar refrain: Dallas sucks. The chant erupted in unison where Washington fans who made the trip to Philly mingled with Eagles fans for pregame festivities. Videos of the scenes were quickly circulated on social media, showing fans wearing green and burgundy, putting their shared disdain for Dallas front and center. Here, chant underscores of unique dynamics within the NFC East, one of the NFL's most storied divisions. While Sunday's matchup did determine who went to the Super Bowl, it was clear that the fans of Washington and Philly hating the Cowboys is a year-round sport. And once again, rent free. Thank you, Herman.
Y'all so petty.
Thank you. We're petty. You two are in the championship game, and how does the Cowboys even get in there? And what about the Giants? Nobody hates the Giants. They just hate Dallas.
Right.
The Giants already had a bad enough year because they let Saquon go.
That does not matter.
It sure doesn't. It sure doesn't.
I can speak for someone who was born in Maryland and lives in Pennsylvania. Y'all are petty like that, and you only care about Dallas. That is it.
You can't focus on each other.
Every playoff game that they won, here come my phone blowing up. Like, bro, you just won a playoff game. Why are you worried about me?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Man.
What's
All
in
right,
that
Mark.
cup?
Water.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
I don't
let,
drink
me,
anymore.
let me ask you this though: when we win, who do we care about?
Us.
Exactly.
Man.
All right, next story I got. Steve Wilks is back in the game. A longtime defensive assistant and former Arizona Cardinals head coach struck a deal by becoming the next defensive coordinator with the New York Jets on Wednesday afternoon. Glenn was hired as the next head coach of the Jets earlier this month after a 4-year run as the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator. The Jets fired head coach Robert Saleh in the middle of the last season. Glenn said earlier this week that he will not call defensive plays, so that will presumably fall to Wilks. Though Wilks didn't work in the league last year, he's been an assistant across the NFL for decades. After a long run working his way up defensive coordinator with the Carolina Panthers, Wilks was hired as a head coach of the Cardinals to replace Bruce Arians in 2018. He lasted just a single season and went 3-13, but returned to work as a defensive coordinator in multiple spots, including Missouri before his most recent stint with the San Francisco 49ers in 2023. Wilks, after the 49ers reached the Super Bowl under the watch, was fired by the organization after the game. Wilks briefly served as Panthers interim head coach in 2022, going 6-6.
It's interesting. I think that's a good move for Aaron Glenn to not be the defensive play caller.
Agreed.
Because he needs to be able to focus on everything, and
I agree.
That's the one thing about these new coaches who haven't been head coaches before. I think they get swallowed up when they become that head coach and coordinator situation. So,
Andy
But you
Reid.
But you know what I haven't heard though?
shut up.
I haven't heard anything about anybody. About
Aaron Rodgers.
I hope he does not plan to keep Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be out of a job real quick.
Maybe Aaron Glenn can reel that in. I mean,
I don't know. He do seem like in his press conference. He do seem like a very tough guy to play for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jets is tired of him, man. I don't want no parts of it.
I think the ownership is probably tired of Aaron Rodgers more so. Like, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers could get Aaron Glenn fired at this point because of what all went on last year. So I don't know. What pick do they have?
You got to be high.
3, 2 or 3.
Three or two or
I think
three.
it's
It's not.
3, 2 or 3. I think it's 3.
Carolina's high.
No, I think the Giants is 3. The Giants are 3.
I know that Cleveland has 2, and who has 1?
Tennessee.
Tennessee has 1, and I'm pretty sure it's Cleveland that has 2. I'd have to look it up, but that's going to be interesting. They got to get a quarterback though. But the question is like, after Shador and I forget what the other guy's name
Cam
is.
Ward.
Yeah, are there any more that are top 10 quarterbacks at that point? I don't think it is.
No.
Yeah,
Not like franchise.
and honestly, just from what I've seen,
I'm doubting those two.
I don't feel like Shador. Well, I don't know about the other guy, but I've watched enough of Shador. I don't feel like he's a top 10 in my opinion. But
Jets got number 7 pick.
yeah, they're not getting a quarterback. Then
Unless they trade up.
not a quality one. If they trade back and get some picks to go with it. So, but then I guess there's gonna be some free agent quarterbacks too. We'll see. All right. Well, that's the news.
Hey, real quick before we start the hot topics, it's just random. It's not a rundown, but I had a thought and I got to get it out. We criticized heavily Dan Campbell and Nick Sirianni for their when they got hired in their press conferences.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to go by that dude in Jacksonville might be very they might be very successful. I mean, we criticized both of them very heavily, and look what they've done.
We definitely did.
Yeah, but you know what?
I'm just saying, if the streak continues, Jacksonville gonna be a powerhouse for a long time.
You might be right. We'll see. I guess that's That's an interesting catch on that one, but I don't even know what
Yeah.
that even meant. So, but I know
That's
it
what
was all
county
over the
Jacksonville
news.
is. That's what county Jacksonville
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You see? Wow. Okay. All right. We're
I
going to
think-
start.
I think there's been a lot of successful head coaches that went under the radar on a lot of teams, but everybody just doesn't catch the almighty top. That
Yeah.
just tends to go to KC no matter what. So
Yeah. I think sometimes too these supposedly hot coordinators, man, they just like which one has panned out recently?
Hot
The-
coordinators?
The ones that were hot coordinators and they got hired as head coaches because like Philly lost both of their head coaches, their coordinators,
Mhm.
right? That one year.
I got a feeling you can't say that. What's his name? Minnesota didn't do too bad.
Yeah,
Kevin
O'Connell. O'Connell
Okay,
did
O'Connell
well.
is done.
He didn't
He's
do
done
too
well.
bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sean.
Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, LaFleur did
Yeah.
well.
But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. But I said more recently, like they weren't recent hot coordinators, right?
I mean, O'Connell was.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I guess like I'm thinking of Philly's coordinators that got taken, and then I guess we'll see next year what Detroit's coordinators look like since they got taken. But I don't know. Like you said, sometimes you just hit on somebody like you do a player that nobody, paid attention to.
Right.
So,
I'm just saying that if the streak continues, Jacksonville
Yeah,
will be
but
very good.
you're right. If the streak continues with the weird press conferences, then yeah,
Press conference.
maybe that's what he was trying to do. I don't know. But all right, let's get into the hot topic. So, hot topic number 1. If you were Jason Kelsey, would you be rooting for the Chiefs would you be rooting for the Chiefs and your brother or your old team and teammates in the Super Bowl? LJ, I'll let you start this one off since you're the guest on the show.
Oh, well, I think that's a no-brainer. Anybody who knows Philly or Philly fans, they want their team to win above all else, especially after, his brother done won 3 of those things. That's just how Philly is. They're very diehard, passionate, sometimes over-passionate, but it is how it is over there. And they always consider themselves the underdog, and everybody likes an underdog story. So, yeah, if you're Jason Kelsey, you're probably tired of seeing all the Taylor Swifts and Kelsey, his brothers and everything else over there, and getting the short end of the stick. So, they went through this dance 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure they're trying to see it the other way around this time.
Yeah, I can see that. Mark, who would you be rooting for?
I mean, the bloodlines run through with his brothers, but I'm gonna say the Eagles too, man. You've been in a couple of years with that team. You develop a brotherly bond with them, and you got the brother over there that already got 2 championships. So yeah, I would be so yeah. We have three. I definitely would be rooting for the Eagles if that was my brother. Like, look, man, you got yours. Let these cats get theirs too. So yeah, I'll be with the Eagles if I was his brother. Yeah.
I think I would root for my brother. Blood is thicker than water. I was part of the organization when I was, with the Eagles or whatever, but they didn't get me there. I'm gonna be a Hall of Famer, so
He did win one.
so they got him there, but they didn't
one.
win one. They didn't.
They did win.
They won
one.
one. So yeah, so that I definitely wouldn't be rooting for them to get one because he already got one with the team. He did, what he wanted to do. This is all about my brother and family at this point. Like, why would I root for the Eagles? I wouldn't care. It would be different if they didn't get one. I'm thinking along the lines they didn't get one, but I forgot he was with them when they got one. They got one. They got theirs. Now it's all about my family and my brother. Let my brother continue to get as many as he wants to get. I got my one, and I'm a Hall of Famer. I still love the organization, but I'm done with the organization at this point. So I would root for my brother.
But technically, he's not done. If you're a Hall of Famer for a particular organization, you're
I'm
never
just
done.
saying, like I still wouldn't have loyalty to the organization over my brother. So
I mean, that's like saying Michael Irvin, he's done with the Cowboys. He'll never be done with the Cowboys.
It's not your turn yet. You wait, and then you can talk. Let Herman do his thing.
Brian,
We can retort.
you be next.
We can retort.
Who would you
can't
pull
even-
for,
you
Brian?
can't spell retort. I'm on Herman with Herman on this one. Like you said, blood's thicker than water. They're very close brothers. They do spend a lot of time together. I don't know how many different podcasts and shows and commercials that they do together. How are you going to sit at Thanksgiving dinner, and your brother's sad because he wasn't able to celebrate, a three-peat to do something that no NFL team has ever done? There is some love and loyalty to the Eagles, but to be honest with you too, all those players on that team he didn't play with. There are a few, I'm sure, still there that he's played with for a while. That he
More than a
likes
few.
and
He just
enjoys.
retired last year. There's more than a
But,
few.
yeah, but their teams changed dramatically.
Saquon is one of them he ain't played with.
Yeah, he didn't play with Saquon.
Yeah.
There are a lot of rookies that they got. So, again, you love your brother more than anything. That's family. So I'm with Herman, man. I think I'm gonna go with KC on this one.
And Marcus.
It would depend on who was asking me. It depends on who's asking me. That's what somebody Eagles related. I'm rooting for the Eagles. If somebody brother related or Chiefs related, I'm rooting for the Chiefs. And just doing it again. I would just sit there and just not show emotion at all. And then whoever wins at the end,
You can't do that.
just congratulate.
You can't do that. You can't watch a game and not get
No
emotionally
way.
invested.
Yeah, that's a cop out.
Yeah, I think Brian brought up the biggest point. Like, his brother has a chance to do something that no other teams have ever done. How could you possibly not root for that for your brother? Like, that's huge.
Well, I believe he was asked this question on this podcast. And I believe he said he was rooting for both. I believe that's what he
That's a
said.
cop out.
That's okay, Fado. Easy.
What dog is that?
Wasn't mine.
LJ. It's LJ. But yeah, like Herman, that's just PC right there. You can't sit there and watch the game and not get some type of rooting interest in it. It's just not happening.
Well, it's not like the camera going to be on him. He's going to probably be doing ESPN work anyway.
But we're talking about who in your heart you're really going to be rooting for.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Just bring him on the show, LJ. He obviously wants to talk.
just,
What's your opinion, Fido?
You hear the chain back there? All the music.
That's funny. I locked mine out of the room tonight. Like, nah, dude, stay out.
Sorry,
so
wife, you just came home. He's excited.
So, all right. So we got LJ, Marcus, and Mark would stab their brothers in the back. Root against them. It was a cold world, boy. Cold world. So, all right. Let's move on to this next topic. You are the Saints owner. You're the owner of the New Orleans Saints. Who do you hire as a head coach? And do you keep Derek Carr or draft a new QB? Mark, you can start this one off.
To me, I mean, do I take one of the coaching candidates that already have the position right now, or I got to go with the unknown?
No, you have to hire who's available. Or you're right.
I mean, you mean, oh man.
let's also
Huh?
What'd you say?
Can you pull from the college ranks?
Yeah.
You can't. Anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Just anybody that's not a coach right now, or take,
Yeah, somebody that's
not a head
available
coach.
that you could.
Yeah,
That's,
somebody's
that's
available.
feasible.
It definitely wouldn't be Kellen Moore. I probably would actually go with Brian Flores, defense coordinator for Minnesota. I would do that. As far as Derek Carr, man, what are they on the hook for him right now?
keep in mind they got the worst cap space next season.
They do,
They did last cap.
they do. What is the
I
deal
don't know
with
what
him?
his number
I
is
guess
yet,
that would really determine where I'm at, how much I'm gonna lose in cap, which I don't already have, with him, whether or not I keep him or not. But I'm gonna probably find me one of the best, one of the top quarterback coaches I can find to work with him and try to improve him as much as possible. I'm gonna probably
Jesus Christ! Oh,
Well,
Derek
it's like
Carr's-
negative 58,
Derek
right?
Carr's salary cap hit is for 2025 is 51 million.
Yeah, you can't give.
0.458.
Yeah, you can't throw that. You can't flush that down the toilet.
Look, he's
No, you
due
sure
30 million in base salary and a $10
Yeah.
million roster bonus.
Yeah, so you can't flush it. So I'm gonna try to find me I'm gonna grab me a young prospect that I can work with, but I'm gonna try to train him up as much as I can. So I'm gonna have to keep him for at least one more year. But it's crazy, man. They don't. I don't know. When they had a chance to get rid of all this dead weight as far as money, even with Alvin Kamara, they did a poor job of doing it, man. They strapped with this thing, man. They can't do anything else with them
Yeah, that's
without losing that much dead cap money. So yeah, Brian Flores will be my head coach, and I'm gonna have to keep Derek Carr for the cap purposes.
All right, Marcus, who would you take? Who would you hire?
It's weird that you would say that, Mark, about the Kellen Moore thing because I just recently read. I don't know how true it is, but you can go, but
Oh yeah,
Kellen Moore is their top candidate,
Yeah, they said
I read that too.
They
which makes
expect to
sense
hire him.
because they're the last one hiring, and why wouldn't they have hired somebody unless they wait for him to wait for the Super Bowl to be over? So to me, that's an obvious pick, unless they're looking at somebody in Kansas City, because otherwise, why are you waiting? You should have been hired. You're behind now. So it's probably going to be Kellen Moore. Now
you the owner though. Who would you take?
I don't know. I mean, I've been a Ben Johnson fan for a long. I would have been hard on Ben Johnson, but he probably would. He sees what the cap hit is. He probably would
squad too.
see that squad. He probably like no. I don't know. I don't know who's available. I don't really know. I couldn't tell you.
Everybody's available, Marcus, as long as they ain't signed with a team.
Well, in that case, I'd pay. I go ahead and pay the money to get Bill Belichick out of his North Carolina contract. Then, if we're gonna do that.
What about your offensive coordinator? No,
he's good. He can stay where he at. He can stay where.
I'm just Marcus. Now you're not a fan of the scans.
You're
the
right.
owner of
You're
the
an owner.
owner.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, so the Commanders had a good season, but let's not forget when Kingsbury got hired to Arizona, he was basically a loser when he left Texas
Look
Tech.
at his quarterback too.
Yeah, but some people are good as coordinators. He needs one more successful season as an OC with the Commanders before you start.
But when he
Before
left
he-
Texas Tech, he was a loser because of his defenses, though, right?
Well, he's because he had a losing record. Yeah, that's true.
His offenses were good.
Oh yeah, offenses were great.
Good
I mean,
to
he
great,
had
right.
Mahomes as his quarterback, so
So yeah,
his offenses were great. But he had a losing record, and a lot of people were surprised he got that job in Arizona. So not this year. Let him, let's have him have another successful year as an OC before you start doing head coaches. So probably it would be Kellen Moore. I mean, who else is out there? Like I said, Belichick. I go ahead and spend that money to go ahead and get Belichick out of that North Carolina contract. It's about that. And as far as Derek Carr, you really don't have a choice. You're dead last in the NFL with cap space next season. Dead last. I think they're in the minus, negative something. So it's not like they can afford to do much else. So it would have to be Derek Carr. You can't do anything else.
all right, LJ, who would you hire?
I'm going to go not too far down the street. I'm thinking Bobby Slowick from the Texans. He's an OC that's done a pretty good job with CJ, and so he's got offensive coordinator experience under Kyle Shanahan. So you kind of look for that kind of tree, that repertoire that has some good roots to it. And, that should probably help Derek Carr get back to where he needs to be while the head coach, well, I mean, not the head coach, but while, you could leave the D coordinator to handle the defense, get that right. But I think that's really what would probably need to happen is go ahead and get him out of the Texans and put him on the Saints. So that's what I would do.
Brian?
What about Derek Carr?
you're doing that because you got to keep them, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, you pretty much laid it out. I mean, that cap hit, you're not taking that, and there's obviously nothing in the draft that's going to be better. So you got to eat that.
Yeah.
So might as well put a team and and a coordinator, somebody who has that experience around them that's going to get the best out of them.
Brian.
Before the news came out, my initial thought was I would have taken Mike McCarthy, but apparently Mike McCarthy has decided he is not going to coach this year.
You don't want to touch that dumpster
You know what?
fire.
Right, actually, bro, that's a
Yeah.
good pick, bro. I didn't even think about McCarthy.
Yeah,
That's a good
I-
You don't even want to touch that dumpster fire.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I wouldn't blame him for not going there. But I thought that with his pedigree and with his repertoire, and the team ain't super bad. I mean, they had a pretty okay defense. They had some spectacular offensive plays. It's just that Derek Carr kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
I thought that they could at least make them competitive, and then possibly proceed on, to get into the draft and get a real quarterback and do whatever. I mean, I guess they still got Spencer Rattler, but I don't know if that's a project or what. But like you guys were saying with Derek Carr, it's not really much you can do. I don't think anybody's trading for Derek Carr and going to take any of that contract. And even if they did, what are you going to do after that? So you just kind of got to hope for the best that he stays healthy and is somewhat of the Derek Carr that you expect and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if I was the Saints owner, I'd probably pull a name out that y'all wouldn't expect to hear. I think I would go after Eric Bieniemy.
Oh, Jesus, Herman.
Really?
You're being funny. You're
Really?
being funny.
I'm dead serious.
You're being funny.
I'm dead serious. You're gonna get him for a little bit for cheap for one, okay? But because he's not in demand by anybody, okay?
I don't even think he's in the college,
Oh.
is he?
No, he's
No,
not.
he left
Yeah.
UCLA.
Yeah. But I mean, you see what he did to UCLA, like that's.
But the reason I would go after him is because Derek Carr is as bad off and on as he's been. He is an experienced QB, so you're not dealing with a rookie, you know what I mean, or somebody that's inexperienced. And I feel like Bieniemy could probably design an offense to Carr's strengths. Like you said, Brian, the defense wasn't that bad. So you let the defense coordinator do their thing on the defensive side. Like we've all said, you have to keep Carr. You don't have the choice of getting rid of Carr. So I think I would have tried Bieniemy. I'd give him a shot because you just never know. You know what he's learned.
I mean, you know.
No, you don't. You just
Yes,
don't.
you
You
do.
just.
I mean,
don't.
if you're
Never
gonna
know.
hire Bieniemy, you
Herman.
might well just wait and hire Matt Nagy.
Herman, you laughed his ass off when he was the head offensive coordinator for that team up there.
Yeah, I know,
Laughed
but
your
that team
ass
didn't
off.
have a quarterback when you think about it. They really didn't.
And Derek Carr is a quarterback.
I mean, he's better than anything that y'all had while Bieniemy was there.
I think you're trolling, Herman.
Facts.
If you're gonna do Bieniemy, you might as well just wait and hire Matt Nagy then.
Well, the point is like they've already lost pretty much anything that's good, truthfully. Anyway, Kellen Moore is going to be a dumpster fire because Kellen Moore, he may be.
I would rather gamble with Kellen Moore
No,
than
I wouldn't. He may be a
think I would.
genius offensive
Absolutely.
coordinator, but he is not even close to head coaching material. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
he's
But you're
never
going
been coached
with
before.
you just said a genius as opposed to
I
that
said
dude.
I said he may be a genius offensive coordinator.
Right, but a genius at something.
Yeah, but who's going to lead that? Like Washington was crying because Bieniemy was too hard on the play. They were too hard. He was too hard on them. So that tells you he's gonna have some leadership in there, and he's not gonna stand for no BS if you're not executing properly. Kellen Moore's just gonna go. It's okay. Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Because that's how he does Dak. That's how he did Dak all the time.
How you know? You
Because
wasn't
you
there.
can see it on the sideline. Come on,
Let's
man.
see.
He's not a
Kellen
leader.
Moore is working within that Philly scheme. The fact that they can tush push and they have like a scheme that works is why it's successful. It's not because Kellen Moore's revamped anything that's
That
crazy.
I do agree. I do agree.
Bro,
I don't think it's his.
They're tush pushing like 3 yards out now, 4 yards out now.
Yeah, that
Like,
joke was
what?
crazy.
We'll
That's
just do it
crazy.
twice.
Right. Like,
Well,
this,
also because you got Saquon there, so you don't really have to do too much. You just run the ball.
But they're not
That's what
even
I'm
doing
saying too.
But
that.
it's
Why they
within
always
the
got to
scheme.
tush push with the quarterback? Why can't they tush push with the running back?
Like you see the who was doing it with their tight end? Was it
Baltimore.
Baltimore? Yeah, Baltimore
Baltimore.
started doing it with their tight end.
Mhm.
Like that's
Because
smart.
not everybody's quarterback can squat 600 pounds.
Yeah, but
Like,
his knee is messed up too, though.
like Jalen Hurts.
So, but yeah,
And
man.
I think they could both squat the same, or they were squatting together or something.
Man.
It was a thing anyway.
But I would have hired Eric Bieniemy.
Okay,
That's who I would hire.
I think you trolling too.
I don't believe Herbert.
I-
You might just hire Matt Nagy if you're going to do that. Why not just hire Matt Nagy?
I think Herbert
just
just let me find somebody outrageous to say.
I was gonna say if he had success at something at one of those schools without Andy Reid, then I'd be like, all right, but man,
Hey,
ain't nothing but craters.
You pulled that one out the hat right there, buddy.
You
I
never
ain't
know.
gonna lie. I like Marcus is the best.
Go ahead and get Bill Belichick, buy my North Carolina contract.
He's not coming. He's not
He's
coming out.
He's
Not for that.
He's not.
I'll say, isn't he already signed into North Carolina?
He
got-
I guess
there's an
finally
option for
now
buyout.
there was
There's
like
an
a
option.
minute, but there was a minute like that where they were trying to say he didn't actually
Yeah,
sign
he hadn't
the
signed his
contract.
contract. Yeah.
But
That's what they're
as like
saying.
Mark was saying, if you dangle the right carrot up there, you can buy him out of the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to the last hot topic. I think we may have discussed this before, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, we have.
Yeah, but it's
Oh, we can
fine.
go- we can do it
We
again.
can talk about it again because
Different
Yeah.
day.
should the tush push be banned from football, or are you a fan of it? Marcus, I'll let you start.
So I would say I can see the case why some people might want to ban it, but I'm going to say no, it shouldn't be banned. First of all, you're banning it for one team and one team only. Other teams that try it are nowhere near as successful. Buffalo tried to do touch push like 4 times and never made it. Stop it.
Was successful.
You
with it.
get paid
Baltimore.
as defensive coordinator. You get paid millions and millions of dollars. Stop it. Come up with a scheme. Find a way. Stop
Jump
it.
over top of the defense.
Yeah, 4 times in a row, and so the refs can just award points. Say, okay, touchdown now. Forget you know. Stop it. I mean, that's all it is. And here's my thing. I think once, this could be a long time from now, but without the good offensive line that the Philly has, without the quarterback they have, eventually Philly won't be able to do it as successfully as they do. So just ride it out, and that's what coordinators get paid millions of dollars for. Stop it. Come up with a way to stop it. And to me, it's just a bunch of babies crying. Oh, we can't beat it. It's not fair. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Okay, don't let them get in 3rd and short or 4th and short. They can't do it from 4th and 10 or 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 6 and 4th and 6. Stop it. Stop them from getting to that point, and then stop it once you get there. So no, I don't think it should be banned. It's just a bunch of crybabies crying because they can't do it as successfully as Philly can do it, and they can't seem to come up with a way to stop it. That's what you get paid millions of dollars for, the scheme stuff. Everything. I mean, every defensive coordinator comes with a scheme to stop something. Everybody gets stopped sooner or later, so stop that. So no, don't ban it.
Well, I'm gonna be a crybaby then, I guess. But I'm gonna say it either. I'm gonna give you a little bit of an option. I'm gonna say this: it either should be banned, or when they do it for touchdowns, those should not be statistically rushing touchdowns. They need to come up with a new stat for that crap. Because that is not a rush. I don't care what you say, it's not a rush. It's just not. You ain't doing nothing yourself. You're just being pushed in the butt by 2 people behind you. So if they don't want to ban it, then they need to change the stat on that for rushing for touchdowns. I don't know what you want to call it, QB sneak touchdowns or something, but that, considering those rushing touchdowns, like they set a record in the NFC Championship game for rushing touchdowns between him and Saquon, I think it was, or whatever. That's not a rushing touchdown. And that's a cheat to me to a real rushing touchdown. So that's the problems I have with it. You saying stop it? It's there's nothing really to do but man on man, and then you got to worry about neutral zone infractions and all that other stuff too.
And then you got to think about the safety of it. You know, if it's a safe play or not. But again, if you're not going to ban it, I want the stats changed because that is not a rushing touchdown in my opinion. So that's where I sit with that.
Well, you only have rush or pass in the NFL. What else is there?
They need to come up with something else because it's not a rush. It's not a rush. And I thought there was some rules. I know there's some rules in the NFL about aiding a player to move forward. But I don't
can't
know
pull them. You can't pull them.
You can pull them, but you can push them. Like that's just a dumb rule anyway. Oh, you can't pull somebody, but you can push them.
It is very weird. Like doesn't make
that's
sense.
weird.
That is
Yeah,
very
that's
weird.
kind of weird, but yeah.
You're
So
still
I
assisting
say,
them in some type of way.
yeah, exactly. So I say if you're
Why
not going
can't
to
you
ban
pull
it,
them?
fine. I don't right.
I don't know.
What sense does that make? You can't pull
I
them.
assume
but
it's
you
a
can push
safety
them.
issue. I don't know.
So I'm gonna say if you're not gonna ban it, just change it when it's for a touchdown. Just give me a different stat. It's not a rushing touchdown. That's my opinion.
So would it be a rushing first down?
Well, it's just a yard gained.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a first, but it'd be a rushing for a first down.
Yeah, it would be. Maybe you should change that too. Rushing touchdowns though are counted a little. They're counted a little.
Yeah, it
different,
is.
you know
It
what I mean?
is.
It's its own stat. So that's why I say that. Just I'd like to see something it called something else. So, LJ, what you think?
I think I liked it better when we just used to call it a QB sneak. I don't know what in the world happened to that language, but that's exactly what it was. You know, I just have to say, you know, I kind of have to agree with Marcus on this one. You know, I don't like it. I don't like seeing it because I think it's used way too often. But at the same time, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you have to find a way to stop it. You know, it's not going to be done forever. I don't believe that that's going to be always what Philly's going to do. I just think they just have the talent there. Once Jalen Hurts starts slowing down, once that line starts breaking down, it won't continue as well. Doesn't mean that they ain't going to try to fit it back into the scheme at another time. But, yeah, I just think, you know, we all know what's coming. They know what's coming. You got to, you know, keep them in third and fourth long yardage situations, which it's, you know, their scheme is to design to stress you in that way, you know, and that's just what they do. And to either counter that, you have to find a way to stress them either on their defense or find something in your offense that plays to a strength that they, you know, have to try to match and can't. You know, when it comes to these type of things, it's always scheme dependent. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, once again, I'm not a fan of it because it does take a little bit away from the game, especially like the anticipation of, oh, what somebody's going to do on third down or fourth down, how they going to get this yard. You know, that really doesn't add nothing to it. But, you know, it is there. I mean, we've all played football. We've all done quarterback sneaks. It used to be something fun. It's now turned into something that's just, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it, but, you know, it is what it is. So, you know, it's all right. You know, I just know it ain't going to be forever.
Yeah, that's a good point. Brian?
Yeah, you're right, LJ, because it's a lot to make that play work. And right now they have one of the best offensive lines to be able to make this work. They have the right quarterback to make this work. Am I a fan of it? No, but just because Philly can do it. Now, if Dallas was doing it, would I be a fan? Absolutely, 100%.
You see the version of Baltimore and both Buffalo. They had a little bit.
Yeah, but Buffalo struggles because Josh is too tall, really. To do
He's
that
too tall.
play.
Yeah,
he's really too tall.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is like you guys said. I mean, just like you remember, like back when Miami was doing the
Wildcat.
You know, everybody thought the Wildcat's going to change, and then what happened? Defenses figured out a way to stop it, and it went away.
And the pistol offense.
And the pistol. Yeah. So the biggest thing is defensive coordinators need to figure out how to stop it. Once you stop it, then we'll be fine. But until then, I mean, it like the LJ said. I mean, it's almost like when the NFL had like the regular extra point where it was close and nobody, you got up and got something to eat when they kicked the extra point because you knew it was going in. There's no drama, there's no pressure or anything. So I'd like for somebody to figure it out. I'd like for somebody to stop it because then it becomes exciting.
To that point that you just said, but that's why the NFL changed the extra point. Would they possibly consider okay, this is getting too much?
Had the extra point been like it took a long time.
It did take a long time, but again, like this Super Bowl coming up, if we see this tush push crap a lot in the Super Bowl, it's gonna kind of make the NFL think like, man, this is takes the excitement out of that 3rd and 1, that 3rd and 2. It really does.
Herman, you brought up a good point too about the touchdown because Jalen Hurts is getting these BS touchdowns. He made set records of the most touchdowns by a quarterback,
right?
And they really are kind of like BS. So.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah, it's something when you have like a QB sneak every one or two, you get there, but having to do this all the time, that ain't real stats. You want to talk about stat padding, that's probably the biggest.
And Herman did bring up a good point too because it is a play where people are going to get injured.
Yeah,
that part too. Yeah. So
in football, every play is a play where somebody could get in.
Yeah, but this, you're diving down at people's legs and.
Yeah, it's what they don't want you to do in the first place, but they're allowing it to happen. So until somebody gets broken up, they gonna act like they don't see what's about to happen.
All right, Mark, what do you think?
I just don't like it when it's done against my team. I think the biggest thing is you just don't allow them in a situation. You just gotta come up with a better defensive plan to stop to not get them in that short yard distance, so you don't have to create it. But I get it. They master it. They got it. I know. But I think like you guys have said, I think at some point it's gonna get old. The minute somebody have a serious injury, I think the NFL will sit back and really reevaluate it and think about how much injuries could occur with this thing. But I thought it was interesting. We talked about Buffalo. When Baltimore did it, they had Derrick Henry behind him. Of course, when Philly do it, they got a big lineman behind him. Buffalo had a James Cook behind him. He ain't up with a
ain't pushing
225, 230. It ain't much push behind that. So I think Buffalo wants to get better. They got to find a big beefy person to be behind them and push Josh Allen. But yeah, I like I said, I just think defense got to find a better way to stop it.
All right. Well, those are our hot topics for the week. Good discussion, fellas. We're gonna go ahead and jump into these games. We're gonna review our first game, the NFC Championship game, where we had the Washington Commanders traveling into Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Commanders saw their Cinderella season come to an end with a whopping 50 burger.
Hey, bro, we don't need all this extra. Just the facts, sir. The facts.
A super giant.
Well, the fact is, they won 55 points. That's the fact.
We don't need all this extra
burger.
Y'all ain't had no problem letting us know how bad Green Bay beat us. Y'all take that too.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts was 20 for 28, 246 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Saquon Barkley had 15 carries for 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 6 receptions, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. On the flip side, Jaden Daniels, 29 for 48, 255 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He had 6 carries for 48 yards, 1 touchdown, so he was the leading rusher for Washington. And Zach Ertz, 11 receptions for 104 yards passing. The stats in this one were pretty close. Time of possession, the Eagles had it 30 minutes, 31 seconds to 29 minutes, 29 seconds for Washington. Washington was more penalized in this game, 9 for 47 compared to the Eagles 5 for 30. Total yards, Philly kind of dominated in that area, 459 yards to 350 yards. I'll go first with this one. Man, I wasn't even close with my pick. I was so wrong. It wasn't even close, man. I thought Washington would do better than what they did. You know, they came and they you know, they went on the road and they were showing that they could be a good team, you know, in the playoffs, and they got that 55 burger put on them, man. Saquon Barkley broke the first play. Like after the first Saquon run, it was like, oh, it's over. Like that was ridiculous. Poor Jaden. You know, the rest of the team let him down. No rush game. Like if when Washington gets a running game, I don't know what's going on with Robinson. I don't know if it's the line or what, but when Washington gets a run game, then there'll be a little bit more dangerous.
That's the offensive coordinator, Herman.
Well, yeah, okay, it could be Kingsbury too. You're right. Zach Ertz should not be your leading receiver when you're supposed to got Scary Terry. Ooh. Yeah, well, nobody's scared of Terry this weekend. But yeah, I wasn't even close, y'all. I picked the Commanders and I was way wrong. Way wrong. Mark, who'd you pick in this game?
Yeah, Herman. I got this one wrong too. Saquon Barkley and Hurts, man, they ran like crazy. They both had 3 touchdowns. All season long, man, we've been seeing amazing runs by Barkley. You know, the turnaround, the flip. I mean, he's been doing this all season long. You know, we were worried about, you know, how well Jalen Hurts was going to play. It looked like he played pretty well. But the turnovers and the penalties. Washington had 9 penalties compared to Eagles 5 penalties. I mean, that was a sloppy ball between the turnovers and penalties. That's what killed Washington. But I got it wrong. And
Jaden was sacked 3 times too.
Yeah.
LJ,
I got it wrong
on this one.
Me, I did have the Eagles. You know, this was a battle of, you know, of just like versus This is picking the lesser of 2 evils for me. I have family down there in Maryland, so you know, as Brian knows, so you know, this was like, all right, well, I can deal with Philly. I've been dealing with them for a good decade plus, but I had the Eagles. I just, you know, reading the tea leaves of how this division works. You know, you already know, you know, the Eagles, they've been here before. They have a scheme that's, you know, is well done, well established. You know, to me, I just didn't see where the weak spot was for them. I know, you know, now my Super Bowl pick was KC and Lions, so I had that wrong, but I still was not fully believed into Washington only because of 2 things. One, no rookie quarterback has ever went to the Super Bowl. And 2, there was still that, you know, I felt like when Washington played the Lions just completely underestimated them and got full of their hype. And as Cowboys fans, we know what the heck that's like.
Yeah.
And so it was like Eagles are not going to do that. And I didn't expect a 50 burger on them, but I did expect them to lose. And that's simply what happened. You know, but shouts out. I mean, both teams went out to the champ game, and you know they doing some things. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it was nice to see that 50 burger though.
Yeah. Oh my God, believe me, I was tickled to death.
Hey, Brian, who'd you pick? You know, I was just realizing too, Brian, we missing Obama in the comments. He ain't in the comments.
He ain't making. Well, it's Friday, so we got to give him a pass, Herman.
Yeah, I guess we'll give him a pass.
We did it on Friday, so
yeah, we'll give him a pass.
Go ahead, like you guys was talking about, the biggest statistic really was the turnovers in this game. Jaden only threw 1 pick, but the rest of the team fumbled 3 times. And you just can't turn the ball over that many times with the Eagles and expect to get a W. Mm-hmm. It was really good until like the first drive. I mean, Washington just was going for it for 4th down and kicked the field goal.
They kicked the field goal. That was so anticlimactic, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you kick a field goal. So then, of course, right after that, Saquon's first touchdown. So
right.
Near the end of the second half, when the turnovers happened and the Eagles got up and then they got the ball at the 3rd quarter, I knew this game was over. Washington had a good team. And LJ, the one thing you didn't put on too is Washington never had a defense this year. They never had a defense this year. and you knew Philly was going to put up points, and Jaden had to play out of his mind to beat him.
Yeah.
I'm really upset with Washington for beating the Lions because I think the Lions could have beat Philly, and we could have got a good Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, instead, they ruined it, made the Tennessee championship game garbage, and then one of these two terrible franchises had to make it to the Super Bowl. So I'm upset with y'all for doing that. Y'all should have just lost to the Lions like you were supposed to, and everything would have went well. But no, y'all want to beat the Lions, get your butt kicked by the Eagles like you should have got to the Lions, and now look where you are, sitting on this couch next to us. Let's go.
And
I got
Marcus.
that one wrong.
Oh,
I'm
wait.
sorry, I got it wrong too.
You got it wrong. Yeah, you was wrong with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah, I wonder who he picked.
I picked Philly, so I was right. So I mean, when my graduation camp. So anyway, so interesting stat in the entire playoffs. The only team that won in the playoffs and had a turnover were the Chiefs. Everyone that committed a turnover lost. So as soon as we hit the first turnover, I was like, "Oh, okay, we're in trouble." And like you guys said, so that 14-play opening drive to kick a field goal, I kind of felt like we were in trouble too. I was like, "Oh, all that to kick a field goal," and then the very next play after the kickoff, the Saquon running, the first play touchdown. Pretty much knew we were in trouble then. Wasn't expecting the 55 burger, but I knew we were in trouble. And then the kept turning over. I was like, yeah, that was the one thing we had going for us against the Bucks and the Lions, no turnovers. And I knew about that turnover stat before the game started. So as soon as that happened, I was like, yeah, not good. And like Brian said, we had the 18th ranked defense all year, so that's below average. So that was not good to have. And for the previous two games, Saquon, they got plenty of rushing yards on us, and there was just no way to overcome it. The rest of the team pretty much let Jaden down, and we know what we got to do in the offseason. I think we're number 3 in cap space, so we got to get some defense together. Got to get that defensive line together, and maybe I'm hoping maybe we can get T. Higgins in there to get somebody along Scary Terry. But it is what it is. We're above schedule. I wish we could have got the Super Bowl, but hey, they were the better team. They deserve to win. Congratulations to the Eagles. Now, Kansas City, go ahead and whoop that ass.
Just remember, Marcus, next season isn't indicative of last year.
No, I feel you, but hey, that's all.
All right.
Did you cry, Marcus?
So what?
Did you cry?
Nah, I ain't gonna cry for. Like I said, I knew pretty early on. After that after Saquon ran that first play, I was like, oh, not good. As soon as the first fumble happened, I was like, yeah, we're done.
Did you watch the whole game or did you turn it off?
I watched the whole game. I mean, after you get up like the 30-something points, there's no more anxiety. You know how it's gonna turn out.
True.
You can pretty much coast to the rest of the game. You're going to lose. So it's like, hey, it is what it is.
The crazy part is that the Chiefs are the only team I've ever seen that's really turnover immune. Like, has anybody else noticed that?
That's what happened. They're the only team these playoffs that had a turnover and won the game.
But even throughout, like we all say, you have to win the turnover battle. We've seen things where Jared Goff had thrown 5 interceptions in that one, but can throw 3 interceptions against Washington and lose. But you go through the Chiefs Super Bowls, and it's like, you remember one in San Francisco? They threw 3 interceptions, still won.
Yeah, some teams they just have that. Yeah. All right, we're going to move into the next game, the AFC Championship. We had the Buffalo Bills traveling into Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Chiefs won this one 32-29. This was a better game. This was a good game. Patrick Mahomes was 18. Yeah, Patrick was 18 for 26, 245 yards passing, and 1 touchdown. Kareem Hunt had 17 carries for 64 yards and 1 touchdown. and Xavier Worthy had 6 receptions for 85 yards and 1 touchdown. On the flip side, Josh Allen, 22 for 34, 237 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cooks, 13 carries for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Matt Hollins, 3 receptions for 73 yards and 1 touchdown. Time of possession was close in this one, too. Actually, Buffalo won the time of possession on this one, 30 minutes, 32 seconds to 29 minutes and 28 seconds. Rushing stats was pretty even, 147 Buffalo, 135 Kansas City, and passing yards were pretty close too, 227 Buffalo and 233 Kansas City. LJ, I'll let you start this one off. Who did you have in this one?
I had Kansas City. This is, once the Lions were done, I was just like, you know what? Just give me KC and the Eagles. I was just like, that was, my best bet scenario. I know a lot of people wanted the Bills to kind of win this one to just at least see something different and interesting. But, to me, I was like, man, to see a three-peat of a team, something that ain't never been done before, I'm here for history. I'm here to see something like that. And then once again, as I've pointed out, KC being immune to certain things, and they just have a scheme that's just really, really just tough to beat theyself. I mean, you can put Mahomes in any situation. He's gonna make, apples out of oranges all the time. That's just what he does. So I just witnessed the greatness and just fall back on it. Just enjoy it while it's here.
Mark, Brian, I believe you're missing something, buddy.
Oh, yes, sir.
I don't even know what that thing is. I'm sorry.
I'll
go find it. Go ahead, keep talking. I'll find it.
All right. Of course you will. He'll come back once we're done. Mark, who'd you have in this one?
Hey, I took the Chiefs in this one, man. They headed to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is the 3rd quarterback to ever reach 5 Super Bowls. You guys know what the other 2 are? You know who one is.
Brady and
Joe Montana.
Elway.
Oh, Elway been to 5? Really?
Yeah.
Elway been to 5.
He lost 3.
Yep. Elway been to 5. Yep. He reached them. I mean, all season long, nobody really expected the Bills to really get this far, really, because of what we saw from their offense. They were missing a whole lot of players. We didn't expect for them to be like this with that.
Yeah,
but,
try again.
Wrong hat.
You don't take that hat off.
The wrong hat.
I thought that was the hat. I'm sorry.
If anything, championship teams, they make plays. That's what Kansas City did. The only thing I had with the problem with the Bills too is that doing all this 4th down going forward. Why they kept running to the left side? Why? They kept fading to the left side. All it took was just two tapes of that, and hey, look, they about to sneak it. They're gonna do the left side. So
Kansas City said that they figured out, they knew where he was going every time.
So anyway,
maybe that's their strongest side.
I guess.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Obviously not.
I took the Chiefs and they won it.
Marcus, who'd you have in this one?
Yeah, also picked the Chiefs. Much like LJ said, I pretty much think it's destiny at this point. It just don't seem they can be beat. They just find ways to win, which is the example of a complete team. When the offense is lagging, the defense steps up. When the defense is lagging, the offense steps up. When the defense is lagging, the special team steps up. It's just at this point, it's just I feel like somebody made a deal with the devil. That's because they just can't seem to.
Travis Kelce did.
Yeah, him and Taylor Swift made a pact with the devil. But yeah, I picked KC and Buffalo. It's I don't. Everybody was talking this week. Do you feel sorry for Josh Allen? No, I don't at all. He's still a millionaire and still engaged to a very beautiful woman. I thought it's the Bills fans. I mean, it's good Lord. It's just the turmoil you've been through. 4 straight Super Bowls, did win 1. Can't beat Patrick Mahomes, and it's like I said a couple weeks ago. It sucks for everybody. It's basically Mahomes is in the Jordan era, in the Bulls era, of the '90s. It's just This is actually the worst time if you're not a team of the Chiefs to have a franchise quarterback and be good. It's like let's just suck until he retires, and then we get the quarterback, and then we got a chance of winning. Because it's just it doesn't pay to now to have your franchise quarterback, team to be good every year, better than the Chiefs in the regular season, but can't beat them in the playoffs. So I picked the Chiefs, and I was right.
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs in this one too, and I was right. I had to go with the team that I felt like could beat whoever came out the NFC Championship game, and I had no confidence in Buffalo. Honestly, I figured the Chiefs gave us the best chance of making sure that Washington or the Eagles didn't get another Super Bowl. Marcus, you talking about teams having franchise quarterbacks right now, and the bad part about that with Patrick Mahomes is only 29 years old. Bro, he could play 11 more years if he decides to. It's ridiculous. So he can be around for a while unless Andy Reid retires and then they start to fall off or something. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't feel bad for Buffalo. Buffalo, they traded for Amari Cooper. Did he even have a catch in the Super Bowl? I mean, in the NFC Championship, like one catch. Bro, that has to go down as one of the worst trades. Like he did nothing for them. Like after they traded for him, so it was like, what was the point of even making that trade? But yeah, Buffalo, they'll be back. They'll be strong again, retool. But yeah, getting past Patrick Mahomes right now is like you said, it's like that Michael Jordan thing. Nobody getting past that right now. So maybe he'll retire early or something for the. But
Speaking of Amari Cooper, did D Hop have any catches in this game?
Yeah, like I don't think he had any catches either. I don't remember hearing his name get called.
I can't remember D-Hop had anything.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, y'all getting real long-winded.
LJ wants to speak. Let him speak, Brian.
Don't worry about it. You look good.
LJ needs to speak.
I'm sorry, LJ.
Go ahead, LJ.
No. I was just going to add, the thing is when Mahomes' wheels even stops turning as it does, speaking of his legs, the thing is he still has the arm. Yeah. So that's what's going to carry him into those 30s. That, when we start to see those other QBs fall off, the accuracy and everything is just all there.
D-Hop had one reception.
But
that was a big reception. That was for like a big first down.
It was first down, yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Holly.
Thank you.
You big dummy, you big dummy, you big cold-blooded dummy, you big dummy, see what you did? Oh no, you big dummy.
All right, so obviously I picked Buffalo, which is probably why they lost, because it seemed like every week of this year I picked Buffalo. They just let me down and end up wearing this hat. The game was really good. Buffalo went up like 22-21, didn't get the 2-point conversion, which was costly. But like you guys were saying, man, Kansas City is just a machine, man. I thought, this long run, playing all these additional games and winning Super Bowls and having the shortest season and not getting all the draft picks and all these things would have accumulated this season to Kansas City being terrible. And they are just as good as they've ever been. Herman's right. They do have the best chance out of both teams to knock Philly off and do this three-peat. I wasn't into the three-peat. I didn't want them to get the three-peat, but my hate for the Eagles is much greater. So I'm
not doing picks yet. We're not doing picks yet, sir. We're not doing picks.
I didn't say it. That's who I was picking. I just said that's who I'm rooting for.
Okay.
Pat Riley has the trademark for the three-peat, so I feel sorry for you, Kansas City, because y'all about to pay that man.
I think they call it a Chief Pete.
Chief Pete, yep.
Okay. Yeah, they say three-peat, you got to pay Riley.
That's crazy. I didn't know you could trademark something like that.
Yeah. But it was a good game. I mean, and y'all keep saying, this thing he's going on, but the Patriots were like that for Peyton. And Peyton finally broke through once. Yeah, so maybe Josh will break through once, get his ring. And if he ever does get a ring for Buffalo, he will live in infamy in that city. So I
You might as
think
well get a statue for him because he's gonna be the
oh,
man.
more than a statue. You might as well build
yeah.
like a building or something, like some schools or things.
So they're gonna make Highmark his name.
Right.
I mean, if Nick Foles can get a statue for like 3 games,
That's true.
Hurry up, Marcus. I can take it off.
All right, take it off.
All right. So those are our picks from last week. We got one more
I
game.
forgot I was
pick.
supposed to wear that thing. I didn't even think about that thing.
So we got the NFC East Eagles.
Oh, how'd y'all go?
Oh,
How'd y'all do? I did
One.
0. I was 0. I
One.
didn't think I was wrong with both.
I was 1-1.
1-1.
2-0.
LJ was 2-0.
All right, we're gonna get into this next game. So we got the NFC champion Eagles taking on the AFC champion Chiefs. The Chiefs are 1.5 point favorites, and the predictor has the Eagles winning 56% of the time.
Wow, really?
That's surprising.
That's surprising.
LJ, who you got in this one?
I mean, Kansas City, of course. I do think, we do talk a lot about Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and, the greatness of them two. I think Steve Spagnuolo is, he goes underrated with what he does with that defense, knowing when to bring the blitz, the pressures, and I think that's the one thing, for running quarterbacks. I think they did it. He did it for Lamar against Lamar one time, I think, and I think he also did it against Jalen Hurts. Like, if you start to bring, way more guys than they can block, and you have a free blitzer, that's a lot tougher for them to try to maneuver out of than, trying to just pick you apart in zone or just man to man. Just even across the board. When you have a free blitzer, that it's just tougher on running quarterbacks. But I just think he's one of the unsung heroes of the past Chiefs championships, and just pay attention to that side of things. I think he's going to put them in a position where they're going to get a turnover or two, and I got Chiefs by a little bit more than just 1.5. I say at least by 4 or 5. It'll still be a close game. Philly isn't going away, but Chiefs are destined to Chief Pete.
All right, Marcus, who you got?
So along with my pick, I'm also going to give a crazy prediction, which also reminds me that we got to review our crazy predictions from earlier this year. But I am picking the Chiefs. I think it's in their destiny. I think they can't be beat. I think the stars will align, and the Chief Pete will happen. And for my crazy prediction, I think after they win, Travis Kelce will propose to Taylor Swift on the field, therefore ensuring that there will be a 4-peat the next season. Because the NFL will definitely want to cash in on all that.
Brian, who you got?
You guys bring up some valid points, and LJ, you did kind of spark my mind too on how well Spagnuolo is, because Spagnuolo was the defensive coordinator for those Giants teams that beat those Patriot teams, including that Patriot team that wanted to be undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
So that dude broke that broke that chance of them being undefeated and the Miami Dolphins not being able to keep putting their glasses up at the end of the year. So can Spagnuolo do it again and help a team get something, a 3-peat? No. I think the Eagles are going to win this game.
Wow.
You're
With
actually
the Eagles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mark.
The refs. No question. The refs. They're gonna take it. That's it.
Well, Brian, I usually don't let you lone wolf by yourself, but I got to break that tradition this time around. I'm going with the Chiefs. I can't pick the Eagles. Yeah, I can't pick the Eagles, man. And I told my cousin I had his back once last week. So I got the Eagles back again. I mean, I got the Chiefs back again this week. Give me the Chiefs in this one. And yeah, I'm with LJ. I think it's gonna be probably about a 5 or 6 point game. I don't think it's gonna be 1.5. I don't think it's gonna be that close. So yep, give me the Chiefs.
I think two things are happening here. I think for as much as Eagles fans want that rematch from a couple years ago, I think the Chiefs also want to prove that, hey, it wasn't the refs. We were going to beat you anyways.
Yeah. So we got the Chief peak coming. And what I always say all year long, I've been saying it, they're the champs until they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Herman, you messed it up.
Nah, you
what did we do? What did we do last week?
Nah.
What did we do last week?
I know we picked the team.
I knew that was
exactly, Herman.
I knew that was an innocent pick.
You messed it up.
But speaking of Spagnuolo, remember last season we had a hot topic: should he go in the Hall of Fame? And I believe he should go to the Hall of Fame as a coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
If they win the Super Bowl, that man deserved to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, the question is why hasn't he been a head coach?
Right,
I don't think he really wanted to.
Anymore, Herman.
Hasn't he been? Hasn't he been? Wait a minute. What is
Fifth Beatle has spoken.
Oh.
Wait a minute. What Spagnuolo's ever been a head coach? I thought he was a head coach for somebody.
Nope.
He was. Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Who's the head coach for?
I don't know, but he was terrible as a head coach.
He was terrible.
Miami?
No, I think it was the Rams.
Let me look at that. He was a head coach somewhere.
He was a head coach. I think it was the Rams.
As a head coach?
Yeah.
Look at it right now. He has to have been a head coach somewhere.
He was. Yeah, it was Rams.
No, Rams. It was the Rams. It was
2009 to 2011.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm a
so 2 years.
Vision. I told he sucked. Now he sucked as a head coach, but he wasn't.
Man, he must have been real bad because he was never
terrible. He was terrible.
He ain't never gone back, huh? Wow.
I mean, it didn't get better after them when they had Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, that's true.
Very true. All right, so that's our picks. We'll go ahead and give our final thoughts, and then we'll get up out of here. LJ, I'll let you go first as being the guest on the show. You got a final thought for us?
Yeah, as Ric Flair said, to be the man, you have to beat the man. So that is my final thought. In order for our fellow divisional rivals, confidence as far as beating the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
All right, Mark, what you got?
Kenny Pickett is going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, but that's not like he's the reason why they're going. That's not like he's the reason why they're going.
It's going to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna let that sit right there.
Okay, Brian.
There are multiple memes and jokes out there on how Jalen. What's his last name? Marcus
Hurts. Jalen Hurts.
No.
Who you talking about?
Jalen. Jaden Daniels.
Daniels
has more, playoff wins than Dak, and how he did it in 5 months, and Dak ain't did it in 9 years. And all I got to say to all that rubbish is rent-free.
Let's say he doesn't have more wins; they have the same.
They have the same, but they're just like going on how he did it in 5 months, and it took Dak 9 years.
Oh yeah.
But how many other? The funniest thing is there are no other quarterbacks that they put that in, and there are almost all of them can't say the same thing, but they want to pick on one team.
Yeah. Look at Justin Herbert.
Hey, rent free, baby, rent free.
Always.
All right, my final thought. I just want to thank everybody in the delayed game group that took time out to wish me a happy birthday. I really appreciated that. Hate to see our season coming to an end, but we will be doing more shows this off season since we are on a whole nother network now. So we have
Herman, the draft coming up now, baby.
Oh yeah, that's where the focus is. So yeah. Even I don't know how this draft year is going to be though.
We're gonna be there. That's what I'm at.
Yeah, we'll be there.
We're just praying for decent weather. That's all we're praying for.
Yeah, man. Because
Green Bay in April, I don't feel like it's going to be that warm. So
I mean, Kansas City wasn't, Detroit wasn't, so I don't expect Green
right,
Bay
that's
to be
true.
that.
It wasn't that warm, but we'll be there regardless. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for that, and yeah, we'll give y'all some more content this off season, so we don't just disappear on y'all this time around. So Marcus, hit us with your final thought and get us up out of here.
So my final thought is it's sort of some props too, even though I hate to give it to them. So not only did we lose to Philly in the championship game, we lost on social media too. I gotta give it to I hate the Philly fans. They really, their social media is no joke. They really hype that crap up. I mean, they're doing good jobs over there. Washington fans, we gotta get on point. We gotta do better than that. All fans, really, Cowboys fans, everybody, because they really rule social media right now. That Gilly the Kid and all that stuff. They got Too Short involved. I mean, so I give them their props. they got social media on lock.
But when they lose, it ain't going to age well.
Yeah, it's not going to age well when they lose, but I give them props. So everybody else, especially Commanders fans, we got to step up with the social media stuff because they whooped our ass in the game and they whooped their ass on social media. So before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us in our Facebook group, Delay a Game. We're on Twitter /X Delay a Game 3 and on Instagram at Defense Delay a Game. You can also catch us on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. We broadcast simultaneously there at the same time we're broadcasting here. So go on over there and check them out. They do football, basketball, baseball, boxing, MMA. They do it all over there. So go on over there and check out the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. We will see you in 2 weeks. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.